Hello and welcome to this episode of Cooking with Carter. On today's episode, we're going to do chicken cutlets and twice baked potatoes. Want to go over just a couple things really quickly. I have my standardized egg and breading station that I've used in many seasons before, so to check that out, you can view our other episodes to see how to do it. What I've got is just boneless, skinless chicken breast. I got 2 packs here, and they're relatively small, but what I'm going to do for chicken cutlets is a little bit different. I'm going to take these and I'm going to basically lay them out just like that, because some of these are not halved. Most of them are. So really the only thing you have to do is lay them out long ways. Okay. So we'll lay this one out, and then we'll do the same for the last one. Okay. All right, now that these are laid out properly, you can go ahead, you have 2 options when you do these. I'm going to just get my half a towel here. You have 2 options when you do these. You can go ahead and cut them right down the center to make 2. You want to get you can make 2 fillets out of 1 breast. You want to get them as thin as possible. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go right down the center. And again, let my knife do the work. Okay, so we got 1 there. Let me get a bowl or just something to sit down. Okay, these are about the size you want, and when I say that, you want them to be pretty thin. These won't take long. They're very easy to do. So you're going to lay these down much like that. Now, with this one here, this one's still a little too big, and I've got a chunk of fat on the side that I don't want. So I'm just going to trim that off there. Very sharp knife to do that with. Now this here is a really tricky part, so you want to try to be as careful as you can, because even me doing this, I'm not a professional. Okay, see, I don't like doing that way, because I'm not cutting away from myself. So what I'm going to do is, once I get into the fillet, I'm going to hold it. See, that doesn't work either because these are so thin. The other way you can do it, just go right in the middle. See, what I'm trying to accomplish is to get these to lay out just like that, because what you want is about the flattest piece. Now they're not as long, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna take this last one here, and really this one I'm not going to use because it's kind of covered in fat, so that's okay. Some of those you'll have to do that with. But let me go ahead and slice these for you, and we'll just use these normally. It's about the size that I want. So is that. Okay. Slice up these other 2. Again, all I'm doing is just back and forth and letting my knife do the work. I'm not having to do any pressure whatsoever. Just back and forth, nice slice. Very easy. Okay. There you go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and slice up the rest of these. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the breading station. You're going to need a long, I believe it's 13 by 9 baking pan, or you can use a 12 by 8, whatever you have available. I prefer a dark pan because they're going to cook quicker, and for me, they always become more crispy on the darker pan. Have your bread station set up. Let me cut these up. When I get these cut, we'll come back, we'll bread these, egg these, put them on the baking sheet, spray it down with your local cooking spray, set your oven to 350 degrees, and we turn the fan on so the smoke detector doesn't go off in the middle of the episode. So we'll see you later in just a minute on Cooking with Carter. Alright, welcome back. I want to just kind of go over what we've done, just a brief synopsis of everything. I went ahead and seasoned the egg and the breadcrumb mixture normally, just like I mentioned before, with the seasoned salt, the complete season, the garlic salt, and the oregano, and also seasoned salt. The only different seasoning that I use that I don't normally use is thyme, because I wanted to give I wanted to enhance the flavor a little bit more, and thyme seems to bring it out. I can also use cinnamon and nutmeg, which is a creation that I mix together and use a lot of time. But I've got a little bit of space left on the tray over here, and we've got another tray sitting on the stove. Again, you want to heat your oven to 350 degrees. It'll take about, depending on your oven, about 10 to 15 minutes to preheat. I want to show you how I do this. Now, Max has been helping me out on this, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to just drop these 3 remaining pieces with the one that I already have in the egg. That makes 4. And that's it there. Make sure there's not another one in there. It's not. So we're going to flip them over. And it's easier to do this with my hand just because that way Max doesn't have to work as hard with the fork. I'm going to drop these in with my hand. Now once I drop these in and the breadcrumbs adhere, press down, little flip.
You don't want help?
Should be alright. Okay. Press down, little flip, and then I'll have Max drop it in on the tray there. You want to give it a second. Leave it in the egg for a little bit before you drop it in the breadcrumb mixture. Just press down for a second or two, a little flip. Now every so often you're going to want to shake this down to get your breadcrumb mixture back even again. Toss it on the tray there.
How elegant.
We tried multiple breading methods off camera. We tried to do a quick seasoning method in a bag. That does not work. They were stuck together very easily, so we just emptied them into a bowl here and did it that way. And you can use a fork or spoon to kind of get the rest of the breading mixture on there. And now our final combatant. Okay, a little movement, a little pressure. All around. And there we go. That is how chicken cutlets are done. Now, literally, you want to let these bake in the oven for 6.5 minutes on each side. Sometimes you have to do 8 depending on the size of your chicken. This is definitely a 6 to 7. Check your fork when it goes through just a little, or check your chicken when it goes through just a little bit stiff, when it's not easy to get through or not easy to press through. You know you're done. You can also take a toothpick and go through. If anything sticks to the chicken or you see any pink on the inside, you're not quite done. So 350 in the oven they go. Let it heat. Bada bing, bada boom. They come out. When we come back, I'm going to show you the baked potatoes. The twice baked potatoes. What you're going to do? Go ahead and grab your potatoes. I usually do 6 to 8. Make sure they're about medium to large size. Take a fork and poke holes on the ends in the middle and on the sides all the way through. Make sure that they're poked all the way through or down good and far so that that it can cook properly. They will cook for about 45 minutes to an hour. When the fork goes through easily, the potatoes are done. Slice your potatoes in half, and then we'll work on the stuffing. So we'll be right back with chicken cutlets and twice baked potatoes. But when we come back, we'll show you how the chicken looks as we start on the twice baked potatoes. All right, hello and welcome back. What I want to show you is just a couple of things. I have 6 potatoes spaced out. The reason that these are so far is because these I've done off camera, so really they're going to be done like this. We're going to space them out pretty even. Okay, all of these have holes in them except for this last one, which I wanted to do on camera for you guys. I find, and this is a trick with CP right here, a fork with a handle that has a nub kind of that sticks out. I can take my finger and press up against it so that I have pressure on both sides, one with my thumb and pointer finger right in there. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to start on the ends. You're going to go about midway through. Pull out. Okay. Turn it over. Midway through, pull out. You get a little bit of a potato drippage, that's okay. We really cook on this show. Sides, pull.
Now be careful you don't go all the way through and stab yourselves.
Yeah, you want to go about just a little bit over or just a little bit under halfway through, just a little bit under halfway through. So you look, you see where the fork is? That's about exactly half, so that's fine. You don't want to go any further than that. Okay, we go here. It's a little far, but it's okay. Did not go all the way through. Last side's over here. Once in the middle. And once on the end. Now, remember I told you for the chicken cutlets to have it set at 350. So speaking of chicken cutlets, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to stick these potatoes in the oven. Now, you can wrap them in aluminum foil if you want to. That will make them cook a little better. What we're going to do, we're going to cook them for about 20 minutes, and we're going to rotate them. We'll do 20 minutes again, about 45 minutes all together for those potatoes. So they're in, the stove's good. We got taters cooking. All right, we'll get the towel out of the way here. Now, for this chicken cutlet, I want you to watch. I'm not even going to use a fork, guys.
Well, that would be helpful. But...
in the oven. Okay. Well, I might.
Just for stability. There you go.
Just to show you. How do you tell if your chicken is done? Okay, and I am going to use the fork on this. I apologize, guys.
Just for stability's sake. Playing footsie with a knife. They didn't see that, so.
And there it is, the chicken cutlets cut in half. You can see that it's all white. How do you tell if your chicken's done? Your juices want to run absolutely clear. Let me move the chicken. You see the juice here? It's very, they're so tender, guys. The juice is clear. There's no coloration at all. Okay, I'm gonna go through again. Okay, and there you go. Oh my God, is that good? Wow. All that was about 8 minutes on each side. You can go 7. We went ahead and went 8. But that's the chicken cutlet right there. And when we come back, we'll show you how the potatoes look when they're done, and we'll slice them open and very quickly throw together the twice baked potatoes. We'll see you in a short bit. Alrighty, hello and welcome back to Cooking with Carter. You can see now that I went ahead and taken the baked potatoes out of the oven. Again, that was at 350 for about 40 to 45 minutes. We did it for about 43, but depending on how you want them to turn out. Now, what I'm going to do, and this is the tricky part, you need to try to find the middle of the potato. And the way I do that is I kind of judge, and then I go straight down, just like that. Okay, so let me go ahead and cut the rest of these open. And you can see they're still steaming. We let them cool for about 10 to 15 minutes. Again, find that middle and make your knife be your middle point so you can actually just press down straight through.
Like butter.
Nice and easy.
So glad we sharpened those.
That's all she wrote right there. Now if the skin pulls a little bit, it's okay. Now these are not going to come out perfect. I'm going to warn you. It's going to be messy. And they're not going to look like this when we're finished. Okay. Now you see where the tip of my knife is? I'm not pressing down yet. I don't press down until I feel the middle of that potato right there. Okay. Lay these out. Thank you, sir. That seems to be cooperating quite well. Now, I want to point out something about this potato here that I've got. Some of them do not sit solidly. Okay, this one just happens to. This is the shape that I like because of. It's honestly the concave nature. Okay, what you've got, and this is the one I'm actually going to scrape out here, and I'll show you how to do that momentarily when I get these last two, but I'm going to turn that one sideways. See, on the bigger ones like this, you can almost see a line where the middle is. And remember I told you earlier to poke holes in the potato? That's one of the reasons why, because there's a hole right directly in the middle. You can use that to help you line it up. And you can see exactly how wonderfully these sit. Okay, we're going to just do this last one here. There it is. Alright. So, now, the key here is if you mess up, don't freak out, because it's bound to happen. As many times as I've done these, I can never get them to turn out perfect on camera. Take your bowl, put it in the center of your cutting board. Hold your potato, and you just want to work it to where you get out as much as you can without trying to damage the skin. This is a painstaking process. You just go in to where you get as much as you can without damaging the skin. Real easy. If a fork works better for you, that's fine. Just dig in there and kind of scrape them out. Now you're not going to get all of it, and so many people try to get all of the potato and you end up breaking the skin or throwing it on yourself. Okay. All right. Now, let me just show you. That's most of the potato there. There's still some in there, and I'm going to continue to work on this. I'm going to show you how to do this end right here. This end is what gets people, and this is what gets me. See, the trick is to hold the end that you're working with and just kind of chisel it away. Don't rush it. Don't force it. Just let it come out of there naturally. You don't have to rush with this. This is an art. This is where the art form comes out of cooking right here. Just nice and easy. And if my hand's in the way, I do apologize. Okay. So that is about as thin as I'm going to go for the little potato. And I'll work on it a little bit more, but that's kind of basically what you want. You want as close to the skin as you can get without damaging it. You can go down a little bit further. If a fork works better, if a fork works better, go ahead and use that. But the key is just to be real gentle with it, and you don't have to rush through it, because if you rush through it, you're going to mess up and you're going to rip your skins that way. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these off camera. When I come back, we'll show you the filling in the bowl, and we'll reset them and put our ingredients real quick. Let me go over those. Sour cream, butter, baking bits, 2% milk. We've got basil, onion powder, seasoning salt, garlic salt, complete seasoning, chives, cheddar cheese, and salt and pepper. And that's basically all that you need. And I'll show you how to do it when we come back. You don't have to set your oven quite yet, because all you're going to do once you put everything else back in, once it's mixed, you're just going to let it get warm on top again. So we'll be right back in a few minutes and show you how these are done on Cooking with Carter. All right, we have come back to Cooking with Carter now, and in addition, we have de-potatoed the potato skins, for lack of better terms. And you want to go as thin as you possibly can. And you notice some of the skins did crack a little bit, did break a little bit. That's okay. It's not a cardinal sin to break a potato skin. We're not going to condemn you for the rest of your life. So we're going to get the potato skins out of the way and sit them in a safe area. Now, go ahead and turn your oven on, and go ahead and preheat it to about 350. Okay. Now we are gonna turn the fan on up above, so you are gonna hear just a little bit of noise. All right. So, in addition to all I've done now is I've taken the potato filling, which is right in here. Okay. And that potato filling, I've just mashed around with a big spoon. Okay. I've kind of, beat it up a little bit, bullied it, threw it on the ground, put it back in the bowl. Not really, guys. I'm not that unsanitary. But what we're going to do, always start with your wet ingredients when it comes to twice baked. I've got about, you're looking at just over a cup of 2% milk. I've got a cup and a third, 1 1/3 cups of 2% milk. Now I'm just going to slowly add some of this right there. Alright, I'm going to add a dollop of sour cream. Literally let that drop right on in there. Cameraman follows it, and there it goes. There's that first dollop. I'm going to add a second dollop. There you go. Second dollop's a little bigger. That's okay. And plop. There it goes. A lovely Lovey. The lovey. I tried to say lovely and the L-Y would not come out. Why? Alright. Now, there's that. Okay, stick that back in the sour cream. Now, a certain lady would be proud of this. A little butter.
A little. Ah.
A little more butter. Okay, now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I've got 2/3 of a cup of cheddar cheese. Right on in there. Whole thing. Alright, so that takes care of that. Now we can consolidate space. Set that right on in there for a second. Get the butter out of the way. Now we'll bring over our trusty super duper mixer that was featured in the equipment series that you can see at any time on Cooking with Carter. Alright, so now we're gonna lock this
That's the center.
into place. Here it goes. There it is.
Okay.
And we're going to slowly begin mixing this. Now you can see that with it on one, hey, check it out, we got our own spinning move now. Now what Max is doing, he's actually going the opposite way. He'll spin it some, we're gonna bring it up a little more. Oh yeah, baby, feel that power. She's not even at halfway yet. Now you'll notice it's starting to blend together. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get a spoon here. And I'm going to get Max just to kind of scrape down the sides for me.
You have a better chance of reaching it than I do.
You got to be careful with this.
Let me turn it to your direction.
There you go. There you go. All right, little boys. Now, there was a reason that I didn't add the milk earlier. I'm not going to sit that back in the same cream.
We did add some.
But what I'm going to do to help this mix a little better is I'm slowly going to add in some more of this milk.
Oh, and milk is going everywhere.
That should be fine.
There's also the other thing you can do.
I'm going to go up a little higher now. And finally, full power. Now that's pretty much almost there. Okay, so I've got it mixed just about where I want it to go.
Carefully.
Yep. We'll let that drip for a second. Yeah, I know you want to. There it is. So now we're going to take our same spoon and I'm just going to mix it around
It's a bit like cottage cheese.
by hand. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's a little soupy. Yep, it is. Give me just a little bit of about a spoon of flour, Max, right on the mic there. Now, you notice the reason I added it slowly is because I didn't want to go too quick, because if it gets too thin, let me show you what you do. Okay, we're going to go back down in here. Now give me literally just like Yeah, about that much. I'm going to add in maybe just under a tablespoon of flour to thicken up this mixture just a little bit. Yeah, give me just a little bit more. She's almost there. Almost dead. Should be good. About a little tiny bit more. Tiny bit. Yep. There you go. Perfect. Bob Ross used to say, we don't make mistakes, we make happy accidents, which I like a lot because this is right about the thickness that I want it. Okay. Now, I'm going to have some fun.
Oh, the fun starts now.
About maybe maybe just about a third of a cup of bacon bits. All right, and get those out of the way. We'll season it. A little onion powder. Since my cameraman so expertly unscrewed the garlic salt, we'll go with the garlic salt next. And this honestly is just seasoned to taste.
Just pass it to me.
We're done with the onion powder now.
The Gunyon powder.
The Gunyon powder.
The Gunyon force.
Seasoned salt. Couple taps of complete seasoning. I'm going to add the remainder of my chives right on in. About maybe a fourth of a cup, maybe, if that. A little bit of basil. Now remember when we said it was too thin? Okay. Regular salt.
Look at all those colors and flavors mixed together. It looks beautiful.
Some freshly ground black pepper. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what we want right there. Now, how do I tell it's right? How do I tell this works? How do I tell that it's the consistency that I want?
Taste it.
I'll show you. Before I even taste it, pick up a spoonful, watch it drop. I like about a plop a second, and literally that's how I judge it. If it runs off the spoon, add just a little bit more flour to it. Pick it up. Third plop, that's what you want. So she's good to go. My actually going to use this for my serving spoon as well, I think. Let me get a little spoon out of there, Max.
How about the butter?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Just don't re-dip.
Oh, woohoo! Oh, good God. There are some things in a chef's world that I wish you guys could do. That was a spoonful of heaven right there. Wow. Oh my gosh. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah. That's even worth.
As my mouth is watering. Yes, yes it is.
That's really. Wow. Oh, that is perfect. Okay, so now we will take our potato skins. And it's very simple. I'm going to do a couple of these on camera so that you can see. Start with this one right here. Take a spoon. Don't overfill it. Go right here. And you literally,
It's a bit full.
which is what you want. Right there. Take off your excess, which is fine. Bring it back over to the inside. Just smush it down.
Got some excess on this side. There you go.
Okay. Now, take another one. A little bit. Spread it out. A little more. Oh, yeah. Now, here's where it gets kind of fun because the potatoes like to move in their own direction. Since this one wants to fall, switch them. And hold it up. Now, how I'm going to finish that, very simple. I'm going to top it.
There you go.
Just a few bacon bits there. A few more. There you go. Now, all we're going to do to finish that up, I'm going to reach over here and grab my cheese. Go down in here with the old hand. Or actually, you can go in the cup.
Probably a hand would probably be better.
Yep, in the cup if you want to do it that way, but I actually use my hand.
If you control the outcome better than with a cup. At least it seems that way.
Okay. Sprinkle a little bit of cheddar on top. A little bit of cheddar on top. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do your twice baked potatoes. Put them in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. Let that cheese harden up. Oh my goodness, kiss your mama, because you're going to need one before you have a heart attack and end up in, ICU, which, the whole 9 yards. We're going to finish these up, come back, have a twice baked potato with the fellas, and we'll show you what the end product looks like on Cooking with Carter. We'll be back in just a minute. Alright, we're back, and the twice baked potatoes are now out of the oven. and you can see the hardness that the potatoes have taken on now. It basically, with that liquidy substance that we had before that we stiffened up just a little bit, once you place it in the potato skin and put it in the oven, about 10 minutes is what we had it in there for. It hardened up nicely. I'll just take this one here, go right off the end. Woo! Twice baked potatoes, boy.
Pan popped, but no one could see it. Excuse me.
That's good. That is really, really good. Now, I will tell you, be careful with how much bacon you put in there because it will make it just a little bit salty. But once you put it back in the oven and let it cook a little bit, it's not as liquidy. It will firm up and be okay. We'll see you again next time on Cooking with Carter, where the meals we make are worth the wait.